Welcome to episode number 172. I had a 172.
Yeah, you did.
That was my favorite airplane. That was November 6208 Charlie.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's what I learned to fly in. What a lot of people learn to fly in. So episode number 172, which is a really fortunate number, is 3 referral campaigns for aviation companies to use in 2019. Okay. We love referral campaigns. These are the most cost-effective campaigns on the planet, right?
Okay.
Other than repeat sales, which are the other most profitable. But they're kind of closely related because they both deal with the customers that you already have. So why referral marketing? Referrals are the most profitable customers. They are also more fun, right? And we're going to talk about 3 different marketing campaigns using different types of folks. Not just happy customers, which is the one that everybody thinks of, right? Mm-hmm. But also with aviation industry influencers, people like brokers, journalists, other folks in the industry. There's a lot of real estate people, construction people, other folks in the industry that are influencers for decisions that people make. And then number 3 is the ones that got away. So people that you actually didn't sell to, but that were impressed by your product or service and know people who may be a good fit.
Right.
Okay. All right. So this episode is being brought to you by our Aviation Sales and Marketing Lab, which includes a lot of software that would cost a lot of money if you were to buy this on your own. Including, we use JetNet for our consultations and other things to give people some statistics and data that they otherwise would have to pay $375 to use. A month to use, exactly.
On a 12-month contract.
Right. We use Basecamp, and Basecamp, you actually get your own instance of Basecamp that you can use to invite your team and work on projects and make sure everything gets checked off and done. And that really is one of the most important components of any campaign to make it successful, is just making sure that all those, no balls got dropped, all the I's got dotted, and all the T's got crossed. So Basecamp is really, really important, and that's $100 a month if you were to buy it on your own, $99 anyway. SEO reports from SEMrush. They will tell you how you're doing on particular keywords and what your competitors are doing. So that gives you some ideas of things that you are focusing on or things that you could be focusing on to get more traffic to your website.
Well, it won't just tell you that. You have to configure it.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But we configure it for you. We provide all the reports and everything to you.
But there was an implication I wanted to straighten out.
Okay, that's cool. And that's another thing, is a lot of people will buy a lot of software and then not know how to use it. So the point of our marketing lab is we do a lot of this setup and configuration for you and make sure that we're answering the questions that you have and solving the problems that you have using the software and using these materials. Our Aviation Sales Basics course, if you see this while you're running around at an event or something like that, you know that somebody is one of our members. That's our secret handshake, is our insider circle insignia there. We have our book club that's up to $30 a month. Sometimes some of those books are kind of expensive, but they're all good and they're all interesting. Actually, they're not all good, but they're all good to talk about, right?
They're all interesting, at least.
Exactly. And it's interesting to see what works in aviation and what doesn't work in aviation that's really popular in the aviation or in the sales and marketing best-selling books, right? Because a lot of them are written for retail, so we have to take a different slant.
Realize best-selling does not mean best written.
That is true. We've noticed that.
Yes, we have.
Right. Other things that's hard to put a dollar amount on are our networking opportunities, our private group, our quarterly office hours, and our monthly projects. Those are priceless. Just about literally, because they are what you make of them. Just like anything else. So it doesn't matter what you have, it really matters how you put it together and how you apply it. And that's why we are so careful about who is in our marketing lab and how we work with them to really help them apply everything that we're doing.
You get a seasoned professional, her, able to guide you through.
Exactly. And him, too. So that's pretty cool. So 2 bonuses that we're including to get, if you've been on the fence about the marketing lab but you want to try it out, now is a really good time, because if you join before March 31st, you also get our Aviation Sales Basics course, which is a $499 value. And that is really, really good for people who are coming from another field, maybe real estate or automotive sales or something like that. And aviation sales is a little weird. Has some different things about it. Or if you're getting into sales for the first time, you've been in aviation forever, but you're new to sales, and maybe you've been a pilot or a mechanic or a product developer, and sales is new and scary, it could happen. People get thrown into jobs like that because they have a lot of product knowledge, so they make really great salespeople once they get past a few little things, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Personal branding is a $979 value. This is where we take a look at all your social media profiles. You may want to put together a speaker page or a bio or a portfolio or something like that. We put that together for you if it's appropriate. Some folks may even qualify for like a Wikipedia listing that they don't really know, how do I make that all happen? That's something that we can help you with. So we become your publicist, basically. Mm-hmm. And we do a checklist of personal branding items, and you can see what that is on our website. But that's a $979 value, and it's really popular this time of year because people want to make a good impression as they're going into those networking events for the summer and wanting to be meeting people for the first time and not having something out there that maybe doesn't reflect on them as well as it could, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So all of that, between the Sales Basics course and the personal branding service, that's $1,478 in bonuses, all of which are yours when you join by April 30th, 2019. So we do ask for a 6-month handshake commitment. We're looking for long-term relationships with aviation sales and marketing people who are interested in long-term relationships with all of our other aviation sales and marketing
you don't just end
professionals.
up a relationship with us. You end up in relationship with the rest of our clients.
Right. And we've got brokers and insurance and journalists and writers and
all kinds of people in there. And you toss an idea out there, they will tell you what they think.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, this is for people who
Which is the straight way they think, and you can take it and do with what you want.
Right. Who understand the value of those kind of relationships and are going to play well with others, right?
One hopes.
Okay. All right. So back to our agenda, 3 ways to get more referrals. So we'll talk about who provides those referrals. Every campaign has 3 elements, right?
Of course.
Okay. Those 3 elements are a list, an offer, and a presentation. So the list is who, right? The who you're going to approach to ask them for referrals.
Yep. The
offer is something that you can offer to get them to see the benefit to them of providing a referral. Because, some people will do it out of the goodness of their heart. Some people will do it to improve their prestige in their community, other kinds of things, because they want to help somebody out. There's lots of reasons that people will refer people, but we'll talk about how to make those reasons.
Could be fresh fish, could be chocolate, could be
work for you. Yeah, bribery is always good. Exactly. And the third one is, how do you ask or remind them to give you referrals? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the list, the offer, and the presentation. In each case, we'll start with the list. So the first one, of course, current clients. That's what everybody thinks of when they think about giving referrals, especially their happy clients. You don't want to ask your unhappy clients. No. Actually, you shouldn't have any unhappy clients.
Right. You shouldn't have any unhappy ones.
If you have unhappy clients, then you need to solve that problem first.
That's right.
And then worry about referrals. But you start with happy clients. Second group is influencers, and we'll talk about who those are in the aviation industry and what they mean to you. And then we will also talk about the ones that got away, right?
Yep.
Okay. So happy clients. Hopefully you have some if you've been in business for any length of time and you're providing really good customer service and doing all of the things that you need to be doing. Then they are likely to be satisfied with you, but they are not likely to think to make a referral because they are busy people. They're running around, they're doing their thing. Of the 100 things that they need to do every day, referring someone to you doesn't make the list unless you give them a reason to, right? Okay. So you can give them some kind of an offer, like I will provide a small service for you and for them if you refer someone. So, perhaps you would do if you're in a maintenance organization, you could do a free checkup on their aircraft or, something like that, free walk around, free consultation, something along those lines that is valuable to them and also valuable to you. Another thing you want to communicate is that you recognize how important it is that you trust me with your colleagues. Because a lot of people are hesitant to make referrals because you don't want to recommend a restaurant or something and have someone have a terrible experience and then you're embarrassed, right?
Yeah, well, that's a good one because restaurants are never the same. Mm-hmm. Rarely, anyway.
Right, but aviation companies should have really consistent service, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that they can count on that, and you want to make sure that they feel comfortable in referring someone to you. So you want to communicate that you recognize that they're taking a risk when they're making a referral to you. So those are the two things that you really have to make sure that you communicate, is that there is some benefit to them in providing a referral and that you recognize the importance. That you don't just take this for granted. So the ways that you can ask and convey these two messages are, in regular conversations and interactions with people. When you meet with them at NBAA and you go to their booth and you shake their hand and you say, how are things going? How's business this year? Is there anybody here that you know that I should be talking to? And I want you to know that we do provide free consultations or a free service, when we get a referral from you. So that's our way of saying thank you.
And some of our clients, when we go visit with them, we had one that would take us out to every office on the field and introduced us that you need to be doing business with these guys.
Oh, yeah. That was Jeremy Cox. He is so fabulous. He knows everybody there is to know in St. Louis and made sure that we know everyone there was to know in St. Louis before we left town, which was wonderful. And, he is the consummate salesperson in the best possible sense of that word. Has no fear of new people or anything else. And I learned a lot about walking into people's offices and making friends that day. So that was wonderful. So shout out to Jeremy. Thank you for that.
You bet.
Yeah. Okay. So regular conversations and interactions, if you go visit a client, ask them, who else on the field should I see? Who else in your maybe your networking groups or other things, your associations and things like that could benefit from what I do. You can send an email. That's a little bit less impactful, but it's a whole lot easier to do on a regular basis to make sure maybe in your signature line have something about how you appreciate referrals and value those. Direct mail. We do this usually twice a year in Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving and
Halloween.
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day and Halloween is when we do our referral campaigns, and at Thanksgiving we just say thank you.
That's right.
Right. But Valentine's Day and Halloween, are both really great times to do a direct mail campaign and include maybe a little card that they can pass off to someone for a free service or something like that. Or Halloween candy or anything else that just makes it a little bit more fun for them to refer someone to you. You want to thank people publicly for giving referrals. I usually do that on Facebook, and say thank you to this company for providing this referral, and that was really good of you to do that, so that people recognize that you receive them well, and that you treat people well when you get a referral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also you want transparency because, sometimes when I recommend or make a referral to a company and then I never hear about what happened, I'm kind of hesitant to make another referral because I don't know what happened to the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did it go anywhere? Did they like each other? Did it not work out for some reason? And that's fine too. If they say, yeah, thank you for the referral, it didn't work out, but, this is the reason and, this is perfectly fine. That happens. And we really appreciate the referral anyway. And you want to make sure that people understand that you didn't waste their time. You really did appreciate the meeting them, their friends or colleagues, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Have you ever had that happen? You referred somebody and never heard?
Yes.
Or referred somebody and heard something bad?
I don't know if I've ever heard anything bad.
Yeah.
But I've been, like, they went into a black hole.
Yeah. You don't want to send any more friends into the black hole, right?
Nope.
So you want to make sure that you're letting people know what happened to their friends when you refer them. So that's cool. Okay, influencer marketing. This is kind of a hot term in the Instagram world. That's not really what we're talking about, is the people with 4,000 YouTube subscribers, right? We're talking about people who are influencers in the aviation industry. So insurance people, brokers, real estate folks for airport real estate. Let's see, who else? There are some people who are connectors. They have a ton of people. They're the ones that are always giving you a call once a month and asking how business is and telling you what's going on at the airport and other kinds of things. So those are people who are kind of in the business of knowing everyone and knowing everything that's going on. And I'm sure you know some of them in your life and in your aviation business.
Not a specific job like a broker, but it's just people end up being influencers somehow or another.
Right. In
and
fact,
it might be a broker, it may be a sales guy, it may be a mechanic.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Some this is really cool because some maintenance facilities, the owners of the maintenance facilities are connectors. And they know everyone, and they know everything that's going on, and they make those connections for you. Now, this is from our blog earlier. This was some years ago, but I think this is still true. On our recent California trip, we struck up a conversation in the FBO with a charter pilot. We talked a little bit about what he did and told us about what we were doing. Naturally, the topic of referral marketing came up. When we explained the idea, he started to laugh. "You guys should be talking to charter companies," he said. "I know, right? But why are you laughing?" I said. "Because some charter companies actively discourage referral marketing." "Really? How's that?" "If a pilot like me knows somebody who wants to book a charter flight, I don't refer him to my employer. I refer him to a broker." "Why wouldn't you refer him to your own company? Don't they want the business?" He said, "Oh, they probably do, but they don't pay the pilots a commission or referral fee or anything. Most brokers will pay you a percentage as a referral fee, and they'll probably give the flight to my company, and I'll end up flying those passengers anyway. So it's in my best interest to refer them to a broker who then refers them back to me."
And that goes on today.
Right, exactly.
I know a couple of 135 pilots that
that's still true.
Validate that.
Right, and they do that all the time. That's a regular practice. So if your company pays the broker fees, why wouldn't they pay an employee that brings them business for that referral directly? "I don't know," he said. John and I looked at each other agape for most of a second. "Wow." "Yeah," he said. "So all pilots handle referrals this way?" "A lot of us, yeah, it's the best way to do it from our perspective." "Does your company know about this?" "Probably. How could they not?" So if your company does not know about this, you do know now, right?
Exactly.
And, there may be cases where it seems a conflict of interest to pay a pilot a referral fee. I don't know. There's got to be a way around that. I don't know what it is.
Well, if they don't figure it out, they're going to keep doing what they're doing.
Exactly. So influencers might be pilots, right?
Could be.
Exactly. Okay. So
even an FO.
Right. So it is a little bit creepy to provide a financial incentive to a customer to bring in another customer. I know there's some people that do it, like for Dish lately. There's a Dish TV has some kind of an offer. Well, they'll take $50 off your bill when you bring in your friends and stuff like that. And that's, I guess a little bit more politically correct than it used to be. But it does seem a little weird to get a bounty for bringing your friend, So we do services usually for customers. For influencers, like your pilots and like your mechanics and like your insurance guy and other people that are connectors, these are people who are in the business. So it may be totally appropriate to do a financial incentive and say, we pay a referral fee or a finder's fee or something like that. So you want to consider the possibility at least, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You also want to reciprocate. So if your insurance guy sends you a referral, then if you run into somebody who needs insurance, you want to send them to your insurance guy, right?
True.
I mean, all of the things being equal, you want to make sure that you're giving referrals to the people in your network that are sending you referrals, and they do the same for you. The more referrals you give out, the more likely you are to get them as well. Reciprocation is a human nature kind of a thing that's alive and well, right?
It is.
It is. All right. So how do you go about setting this up or approaching these people or asking them or whatever? In the case of our pilot, you might want to change your employee policy. And that would be something that goes in the employee handbook and comes out as a memo, and you do the regular thing that you do with your employees, right?
One would think.
Right, exactly. So another way to do it is to connect with influencers on LinkedIn or at networking events, people that know a lot of your most wanted customers or your top 10. Mm-hmm. You want to court them as much as you court your top 10. The people that have their ears are the ones that you want. Get to know what they're looking for and make referrals to them. And human nature takes over, and they start thinking about how they can reciprocate and keep that coming.
Exactly.
Right. So karma is alive and well in these things. And then you can directly ask them, especially after you've known them for a little while. That wouldn't be the first thing once I meet someone is asking them for referrals, but a couple of conversations or a couple of interactions down the line, it's perfectly appropriate, I think, to say, do you know anyone who could benefit from what we do?
Or if you only meet them at MBAA every year, then a second time, ask them.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, that's what you're there for, is networking. So nobody's going to take that wrong as long as you are not horrible or insistent or one way or selfish about it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk about the ones that got away. Last week we talked about giving free consultations. One of the benefits of giving free consultations is you get to know a lot of people in the industry, whether or not you end up doing business with them. So some of them you will not end up doing business with for one reason or another. Either they're not in a position to make a purchase right now, or the circumstances aren't right, or their business is not a good fit.
Or the free consultation was all they needed to get on the way.
Exactly, and that's happened before, where we've solved somebody's problem in a free consultation. They didn't need us, which was fine. So then in those kinds of situations, that's still fabulous. Right? We still love that kind of an outcome.
Yeah, because they'll refer us.
Exactly. So, the list, of course, is the people that you gave a free consultation to that didn't end up doing business for whatever reason, or maybe they were halfway down your sales process. You were in negotiations with them and it fell apart for one reason or another. That was not anything personal or horrible or anything else, but you ended up friends. That's the goal, right?
Right.
Okay. So the message here is, we weren't a good fit for you, but who do you know that might benefit from our products or services? That's the offer, right? And the presentation is, that can be a survey. After you do a free consultation, we send out a survey. And one of the questions on that survey is, did we answer your questions? Did we help you? How likely is it that you're going to need our services in the future? Do you want to keep getting our newsletters on industry topics and things like that? And also, is there anyone that you know that could benefit from our services? And it has a blank, and a lot of those come in with notes in there, sometimes really detailed notes about, this company is having this problem, and I know this because I do this for them, and I really would like them to get this problem fixed so that I can do more of that for them. In a lot of cases, it is in their best interest to solve their problems or help solve their problems, right? Okay. You want to make sure that you stay in touch with people, because if it's the end of the story after they drop out of your sales funnel and you never hear from them again, you never have an opportunity. So you want to give them some kind of market updates or some kind of newsletter or something that gives you an excuse to stay in touch, besides keeping on trying to sell them and keeping on asking for referrals, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you can ask periodically in those newsletters. That gives you an excuse to keep in touch with them. Okay. So once again, 3 different referral campaigns. We talked about these. You may want to do one or all of them. Current clients, influencers, and the ones that got away. And a bonus is that aviation marketing events or aviation happy customer events are a great place to get referrals, because if you invite your happy customers and invite a few prospects, those things are going to happen naturally. We had that happen at an event. That was a Bell Helicopter event in...
They had that one, and we had another one at a breakfast. And, it just works.
Yeah, at a dinner where they invited 8 couples basically to dinner, 6 of whom were current customers and 2 of whom were not. And of course they're talking about the host, the person that's feeding them, and paying the bills and stuff like that. And of course we're all talking about great experiences with this company. And so the prospects are impressed, and the other customers are validated in their decision. Everybody has a great meal, everybody has great stories, and it's a wonderful thing. So once again, this episode was brought to you by our Aviation Marketing Lab, with all of the goodies that come with that, and all of the extra goodies that come with it if you join us this spring, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So thank you for joining us. If you would like to have a free consultation about how to get more referrals, and maybe how to go about setting up a referral campaign that goes out automatically once a year, or a survey that goes out after a consultation, talking about your consultation process, where you want to do that in your process, how to fit this all in, how to make it less awkward, maybe do some role playing, those kinds of things. We are at your service, and we do free consultations. If you click that button in the middle of our website and schedule 30 minutes that's convenient for you, and then we will do a very disciplined 30 minutes where we'll go through and make sure that you come out with great solutions to your questions and your issues.
Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
All right. See you soon.